Well, you know what it is. It's a Friday, and that time is time right now for the About Mansfield Consumer Advice Series. We do this every Friday with right over there, Phillip Washington Jr. Say hello to the Mansfieldians.
How's it going, Mansfieldians? I just realized we both are wearing a similar color shirt.
Well, you know, that's funny because I wrote down on my notes here the word, oh, it's over there. There it is. And yeah, because we are wearing the same color shirt today, which doesn't mean squat for those who are listening to the podcast. But for those who are watching the podcast, we appreciate you being here today. And hey, we're doing a throwback today, aren't we?
We are doing a throwback today.
Back, decades ago, it seems like Phillip used to do on his podcast, Wealth Building Made Simple, used to do a segment called Ask Phillip. And today, Phillip is addressing questions that have been submitted by his followers.
Yes.
Yeah. So what do you say we just jump right into it?
Let's just jump right in.
Dear Phillip, what's the best way you've seen to become financially independent?
Best way is to find your own authentic path, right? The best way that works for you, because the simple answer is, I feel like we gather data early on to learn our preferences, right? Like you go to a buffet, you try different foods, and you try different things, and you figure out what taste you like. You go, oh, okay, I like sweet, I like sour, right? And you sort of find your palate, right? And then through tasting, you also sort of change your palate over time, and your palate's probably always changing. But I feel like data gathering is sort of or looking at how other people become financially successful is more like that. I think sometimes people move to saying, all right, I'm going to copy this person's specific recipe, right? And I'm like, man, you can do that, but it's so much better, right? The reason why Steve makes the best old fashions is like it's very unique to like Steve's old fashions, and I feel like that's how making money is, right? You look at what everybody else is doing, and you pick what works for you and leave what doesn't work for you, and you build your own unique path.
Make it your own.
Make it your own.
That's what I do with my old fashions. By the way, this was really cool because, you know, not only do I make a good cocktail, but I love to cook. And there was a section in the New York Times probably a year ago that gave you recipes without the amount. So you're going to make, I don't know, pancakes. You're going to need flour. You're going to need baking powder. You're going to need sugar. You're going to need, but it doesn't tell you how much.
I like that.
And so you, the creator, get to experiment.
I like that. We need more of that in the world.
And I think it was like a 40-page insert, and I went and I circled maybe 20 of the recipes. And because, yeah, that's go to the kitchen and let's just start playing.
Yeah.
And that's kind of your way of saying, all right, you've given me the guide, but now let's make becoming financially independent on your own. And you had mentioned on your podcast today, make money doing what you love.
Yes, right. Because food taste so much better when it's done by somebody who loves it versus it just being a chore, right? I don't know. Right. I don't like, you know, some people think it's a cliche, but I'm like, no, you can taste the difference between somebody who cooks with love and somebody who doesn't. So like, if you have a journey of doing what you love to do, right? I just feel like I feel like I even feel like if you can, like, for my career, I could be making so much more money than what I'm making right now, like a lot, because I did it one way through willpower, and this way is through love, and I'm doing well, but I know I can make a lot because I've turned down things, I haven't done things, I don't do the stressful things.
Yeah.
But I'm in a sweet spot where I just love it, and the money is, you know what I mean? Like the money is, I don't think I have to choose, and I don't think the money's gonna always be less than the other path.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, money's not the scoreboard, and this path is so much better, and it feels better than just like doing it just for the money, right? Doing the smart thing just for the money.
I'm gonna let you in on a secret.
Yes, sir.
I really don't like taking vacations because I love what I do. I get to come to the studio. I look at the studio literally as my playground. And is it a vacation to come here? No, it's work, but it's work that I love. And when someone says, you need to take a break, it's like, I don't want to take a break. I love what I do.
Yeah, that's a good feeling, right?
Oh, yeah, yeah. Although I will be taking a break in April. And I will be taking another break in June. But it's almost it's like a disruption of what you enjoy doing. And anyway, we've already spent 6 minutes on just one topic, so we gotta move ahead. Phillip, dear Phillip, how do I get a hold of my budget?
By validating yourself. So that's the fast answer. Once you learn to validate yourself, which is hard for all of us, right? Because it creeps up. Like I like to pride myself on being super self-confident and not caring what other people think. But like to be a human, like you sort of got to care what some people think, and it creeps up on you. But so it's subtle. It's basically saying, all right, cool. Like I'm happy because I'm happy. I'm happy because I want to be happy, right? Things I buy don't make me happy. And once you get to that place, then you can make your expenses fit within your income with any system, because you don't feel the need to buy things right? You might buy certain cars because you think that's what people in my neighborhood, the kind of cars they drive, right?
So I'm getting out of this, don't worry, be happy.
Perfect way to summarize it. Don't worry, be happy.
Dear Phillip, what is the value that backs Bitcoin?
Belief.
Belief.
That's the value that backs everything.
Okay. Does belief back the dollar?
Belief backs the dollar? Yep, because it ain't backed by nothing but belief. If you understood how the system really worked, it's 100% belief, right? Even gold. People say, well, gold. What backs gold? Belief, right?
Belief.
Beads. We were talking about this during Mardi Gras season.
Yeah.
I was like, beads, Mardi Gras is heavily African influenced, and beads used to be a money, the way that some African villages had as currency. It was these special beads they made that was hard to make, right? And then some colonizers came in there and figured out how to make the beads with technology and flooded their market with inflation and that whatever. But beads used to be a form. So money's like whatever we believe it to be. Like we buy into the beliefs of the system, and then we think it's more complicated than what it is, but it's just belief.
There you go. Dear Phillip, what are some of the best investment opportunities that you see?
The simple answer is, like, my opinion is going to be as small as a grain of sand on the beach, because there's so many opportunities right there. But I think I'm going to give like some practical ones that I just see specifically. Women's sports. It's going to be huge because there's an underappreciation for women doing things and being just entertaining as men, right? I think obviously Bitcoin, artificial intelligence, those are the obvious things. I think investing in rural communities outside of big cities is going to be big because of the independent, being able to work from home, right? And also Bitcoin miners setting up shop and making investing in these rural areas more palatable for developers. Those are some of the easier ones, but the ideas are the way that people feel overwhelmed by the information being speeding up with the internet and AI, right? That's the level of ideas. Like, it's like springtime. Springtime brings all those like things in the sky. That's, what are those things called? Seeds or things that's messing up our allergies or whatever.
Yeah, pollen and
pollen. Yeah, that's like the money making ideas out here. Like, it's just plentiful. And, like, you got to get infected by as many of them as you can so that you can, make some money. You
know what I'm seeing a lot on TV right now? Sports betting.
That's big.
That is huge.
Yeah,
that
huge.
You no longer have to go to WinStar or Las Vegas to place a bet.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and yeah, and they're creating sports to to like better.
They're creating this. Can you bet on pickleball now?
I'm positive that if you can just find two people who want to place the bets, then somebody's going to figure out a way to because the technology is easy, it's scalable.
Amazing. Should we do one more?
Yes.
All right. Dear Phillip, why do you spend so much time talking about emotional intelligence as a wealth manager?
That's a great question.
That's why I'm the host.
We believe as humans that we're more rational than what we are. And I would argue we're 100% emotional, right? We build these models of the world that says, oh, this is how things are supposed to work because human beings are rational. I've never met a rational human being. You know what I mean? Like, especially people are, just look at how we do politics or look at how we do everything, right? Everything is like emotional. And the path of humanity is finding a way to always feel better. Like we're trying to just find ways to feel better and better and better and better. Everything that we do is some desire to feel better. And so I'm a wealth manager and people want to become wealthy because they want to feel better. My job is, as within, so without, right? So meaning like the better you feel about yourself and money, right? The better your feeling relationship around money, then the more positive ideas you can accept around money. Said a different way, if you feel terrible about money, I can give you the best idea in the world and you're not going to accept it and you're not going to stick with it because your mood does not gel with the information I shared with you. And so emotional intelligence is sort of like cultivating the soil of the mind to get it ready and receptive for the seeds that I drop, right? One of my favorite Bible verses is the story of the sower, right? Sowed seeds in different places. Some fell on rocky places. Some fell on thorny places. Some got burnt up by the sun.
Matthew 7.
Oh, man. That's what I'm talking about, Steve.
There you go.
That's what I'm talking about, Steve. And so the emotional intelligence, I feel like, makes the soil right. So then when I drop a seed, it's more likely to grow.
If someone wanted to reach out, this is another 10-minute nugget of information. And really, before we get into contact, it's all about attitude. Whether are you an optimist or are you a pessimist? If someone 100%. Said, I really think you ought to buy that house because it's a great investment, and you have a pessimistic attitude, you're like, I don't know. Nothing ever grows. And growing meaning your money's going to grow or your tree is going to grow or whatever. It's attitude.
Yes, sir.
100%.
1,000%.
Oh, 1,000. I got 1,000%.
You got 1,000% this time, yeah.
Nice. If someone wanted to reach out to Phillip Washington Jr. for some emotional intelligence or wealth management, how can they reach out to you?
Best way is stonehillwealthmanagement.com. That's stonehillwealthmanagement.com.
That's another 10-minute nugget of information. And Phillip, as we do this every Friday. We'll see you next week.
Thanks for having me, Steve.